It's one of the hardest things I've ever had to endure. My childhood friend died in my arms that night. It happened suddenly, and there was nothing I could do to avoid it, and to change my life forever. My name is Adam Glass. I met Brian when we were 7. His family moved in the next door, and we instantly became best friends. Small town, so every morning we walked to school together, took all the same classes, and went to all the same parties together. We dated the O'Malley twins at the same time, and toured Iraq at the same time during the first Gulf War. We were inseparable. We were unstoppable. Later on, we married our wives during the same summer, and we were each other's best man. Then, as usual, life got in the way. His firm relocated him to Seattle, and I became a professional researcher. Touch though. First over the phone, and then via email. I hadn't seen Brian in almost 8 years, so I was thrilled when I learned he'd be dropping by for a weekend of shenanigans and catching up. I picked him up at his hotel, skipped dinner, and drove over to our favorite bar to have a beer and play a few rounds of darts. That's when it happened. We were doing nothing, laughing at the same stupid jokes, when Brian clutched his chest. His eyes rolled blank and he dropped forward. I tried to pick him up. I tried CPR. I tried yelling his name. Just like that, he was gone. A widowmaker, the paramedic said. It's a type of massive heart attack that happens when the main coronary gets clogged abruptly. Breaking the news to his wife and his mom, it's one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. We were all frozen in shock. Brian had just turned 45 when he passed away. And what's even more baffling, he was in the best shape of his life. He never smoked, rarely drank, kept a healthy diet, and exercised every single day. It just didn't make sense. I mean, how could this happen? Why did it happen? And even though I never said it, I was worried sick that it could happen to me too. So ever since that night, I started researching everything I could on heart health. I've been at it for nearly 3 years now, and let me tell you, some of the things I've discovered during these past years of research would absolutely terrify you. And in this short video, I'm going to share some of them with you. But more importantly, I'm also going to share the critical information on how the latest breakthroughs in natural heart health are raising eyebrows in the medical establishment because they can turn back the clock and actually reverse aging, repair the damage that's already affecting your heart and arteries, and lead you to live a long, active, and healthy life. So if you're 40 or getting close, you need to pay close attention because this might be the most important video you'll ever watch. Soon after Brian's funeral, a study landed on my desk that shocked me to the core. Researchers followed 9,376 healthy male civil servants over the course of 9 years and 4 months. When the study began, men were between 45 and 64. None of them had any history of heart disease whatsoever. They were healthy. Yet over the course of the study, a whopping 474 of them had heart attacks. That's more than 1 in 20. And none of them were over 74 years of age. So, did that mean that if you're between 45 and 74, even if you eat right and exercise, pass your medical checkup with flying colors, you have about a 1 in 20 chance of having a heart attack? That's crazy. Yes, we're talking about people who are getting up in their years a little bit, 50 and older, but they're healthy. Remember Jim Fixx? In 1977, the bestseller called The Complete Book of Running, and as you can guess, he was a running fanatic. Yet in 1984, when Jim was 52, he dropped dead of a heart attack while jogging down Vermont's Route 15. Now, on the outside, Jim was a picture of health. He ate right, he exercised like a nut, but underneath his athletic-like exterior, Jim had 3 blocked arteries. One was 70% blocked, another 80%, and the last 95%. I asked myself, if Jim Fixx was such a health nut, why were his arteries so damn plugged? Then there's Bob Harper. Now, I don't know if you know Bob. He's been a trainer on NBC's The Biggest Loser since 1994. But Bob suffered a widowmaker heart attack, the same kind that killed James Gandolfini in 2013. But unlike Gandolfini, Harper was a picture of health. Yet he had a blocked artery. Now, Harper survived, but it should have never happened in the first place. Then there's Alan Thicke. You might remember him from the TV show Growing Pains in the 80s. Thicke was surprisingly fit. At age 69, he was still playing hockey. Yet while playing, he got some chest pain. Thicke was smiling as they loaded him into the ambulance, but was pronounced dead soon after. Just like the civil servants in that study that opened my eyes, All three of these men were fit and healthy on the surface, and none of them should have had a heart attack, yet they did. You can't chalk it all up to genetics either. We all know plenty of people who had good genetics and died young anyway, or people with bad genetics who outlived everyone else. But even the director of the Center for Human Genetic Research at Massachusetts General Hospital in Boston admits, for heart attack at least, DNA is not destiny. Luckily, the simple answers did not cut the mustard for me. What I've discovered, and what I'm going to share with you here, has the power to alter your destiny. What if you no longer had to accept heart problems as a given, simply because you're getting older? How would you like to have the heart of your 20-year-old self, no matter how old you are today? And I'm not talking about a transplant. You see, the solution I'm going to share with you could make that obsolete, but you'll never see it on the 6 o'clock news.